Al will become a person that knows potential secret information about that colony. So she could be looked at as a target, but she could also be looked at as a magnet. It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video. In this video, we'll be looking a bit at The Walking Dead Season 10 and the story being teased for Season 11 in the Season 10 finale. We will also be looking at The Walking Dead's third spin-off, World Beyond, but the focus of the video will be on what we can expect from Fear the Walking Dead in Season 6, specifically looking at Al's story and her knowledge of the Civic Republic military, or CRM, and the possibility that she'll try to communicate with them again or even reunite or hear back from Isabel, who's of course the CRM soldier. Before we start with the video, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to join our community and press the bell to be notified. If you enjoy the content, make sure to press the like button. It does make a difference. Not only do I see how many people are enjoying the content that's released, but also it helps with the YouTube algorithm and with being promoted. The more you like the video, the more chances that YouTube will promote the content, and as a result, the more people will see the channel. So with that said, let's dive right in. So if we look at the Season 6 trailer for Fear the Walking Dead, there is this little scene. It appears real quick, but there's this scene where Al fires a flare gun up into the air. Now we know this is most likely Al because we see Al and the reflection of the red light from the flare gun in another scene in the trailer. There has been some speculation that Al is on yet another mission to find the truth about the CRM, and she's trying to get in touch with them again. Now, when I first saw that theory, I dismissed it rather quickly, but now looking back at it, I think it's possible that they might be trying to fill in some of the gaps and bring the three shows a bit closer to one another. And I'll explain what I mean by that. One thing I want to say though is I doubt they will be giving us any more CRM references or clues or big reveals about CRM in Fear the Walking Dead. Simply because I think they are reserving that for the third spin-off and then the Walking Dead movie. I think the World Beyond story will give us the origin story of the CRM or explore what that colony is all about without us actually seeing the colony up close. Then in the Walking Dead movies, through Rick Grimes' eyes, we will be introduced to the colony and we'll learn about what their agenda is and how they operate. So, World Beyond might give us the origin through characters finding out the truth about CRM by finding like secret documents and such, while the movie will dive into their philosophy and the way they run things. Now, how does Fear Season 6 come into play? Well, since our first reveal about the CRM was on Fear, I think they may be using Fear to bring the shows a bit closer together, and they might be using it to set up future stories that we're going to see in World Beyond or even the movies. Of course, the very first time Rick saw the CRM helicopter was in Season 8 during All Out War. So that could be looked at as our first tease at the CRM colony. But our first official glimpse at the colony came in Fear the Walking Dead. Now, what do I mean by they could be setting up stories that will be told in the other mediums? And they might be bringing the shows closer together. I think what they're planning to do is have Al continue to pursue the story of the CRM colony. Al might be turning into the glue between all of these different Walking Dead shows. Like before, Al will continue to find signs of the CRM and try to communicate with them again. Now, whether she will or not is irrelevant, but like I said, I think they are saving big reveals of CRM in World Beyond and the movie. But I think Al will become a person that knows potential secret information about that colony. So she could be looked at as a target, but she could also be looked at as a magnet. And I'll explain what I mean. They can go two ways with this. If they have it so that she's the target, they can have CRM soldiers coming in to take her away, so she doesn't spill the beans about the CRM and what they're all about. And I think that would be a very cool way to cross Elle over into either World Beyond or the movie. Like if the CRM are successful in taking Elle away, then she may appear in the movies and be a character in that story. But if they do something different and they have it so that she manages to escape or someone helps her escape, she could possibly cross into World Beyond and then into the movie if they decide to do that at that point. Now, of course, the timeline gets complicated, so Elle crossing over to World Beyond may not be feasible, but it's something that could come into play. Now, the cool part of it all is that they could have Elle be the magnet instead of the target. What do I mean by that? They can have Elle be the magnet that attracts different characters to the CRM and to the movies. For example, they could have Morgan, if he survives, learn that Rick might have been captured by CRM. Then he may end up trying to go look for him. That may or may not work though, depending on whether they can afford to lose Morgan on Fear the Walking Dead. They will need to do a bit of setup before that story can work. Now, on a separate note, there is another theory going around that I do want to touch on in this video. So of course, in season 10 of The Walking Dead, they teased us about a new community that exists out there. Eugene communicated with Stephanie, one of their members, and Eugene, alongside Yumiko, Princess, and the King, are most likely going to meet Stephanie and learn more about the community that she's from. This is going to be a story that they're going to dive into more in season 11. If you're a comic fan, you know that this community is called Commonwealth, and it's the biggest community that the survivors have seen so far. Now, the thing is, in the comics, we didn't have CRM, but in the TV show universe, we do. We don't necessarily know which is bigger, Commonwealth or CRM, but we do know that CRM is more advanced and more organized. Going back to the theory, fans are speculating that Commonwealth and CRM could be enemies. They could be two large colonies fighting for resources. As cool and exciting as that idea is, I don't think it'll work, simply because Commonwealth already has a pretty defined story in the comics, something that I don't think is a good idea for them to remix to this extent. Is it possible that Commonwealth have stumbled upon or even know about CRM? Absolutely. But the idea of a full war between them is a bit far-fetched. That being said though, if they make it so that Commonwealth knows about CRM, that could be perfect setup for them to connect the dots as far as having survivors from Alexandria, Hilltop, Oceanside, and Kingdom learn about that organization. And this is where Judith could come into play. She could reveal to the group that Michonne found clues that Rick is alive and pursued those clues to go and find Rick. Since the survivors know about this large colony called CRM, they could put two and two together and they could realize that they are probably connected. Another way they could connect the dots though is through Maggie. We know Maggie is returning in the finale of season 10. We know she went to Georgie's community to help during the time she was gone. Now again, we don't know how large Georgie's community is, but having Georgie's community and Maggie know about CRM and that colony could be a great way to bring everyone up to speed in terms of the possibility that Rick was taken by the CRM. Now, I don't think that Maggie knows that Rick was taken. I think that's a little far-fetched and it's not as realistic. But having them know about CRM is realistic enough where you can incorporate it into the story. Now, if they do decide to do that, then at that point, you can have anyone leaving on a mission to go find Rick. The rumor did surface recently that we might be getting a Daryl spin-off movie that takes place after season 11, which sees him going on a mission to find Rick. So if that's true, then these could be great build-ups to that story. But that's all I wanted to share with you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you haven't. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.